Well, Des Moines used to be a cultural backwater. You couldn't even find a street musician here. But now it is the cultural and culinary crossroads of the continent. We're going to talk about that today with Troy Church. He's the author of the Bigfoot Diaries. We're also going to talk with Pacha Vang. And we're going to talk with Del Saxman Jones, a couple local artists who are helping to make Des Moines a happening place. We've got more on the agenda as well, including Ying Sao joining us for a conversation about everybody's favorite topic. Yeah, taxes.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Ed Fallon here, folks. Gateway Market and Cafe is your locally owned source for specialty groceries. Enjoy chef-crafted, prepared foods, artisan baked goods, organic produce, specialty cheeses, and hand-selected wines and craft beer. Visit the lively cafe for breakfast, lunch, or dinner 7 days a week. Gateway Market is centrally located on the corner of Martin Luther King Jr. Parkway and Woodland Ave. Stop by or visit www.gatewaymarket.com for more details. That's Gateway Market, folks. Good food, great community.
This moment of silence brought to you by Tally's Restaurant Bar and Catering, home of Des Moines' premier rooftop dining experience. Located in the heart of Beaverdale, Tally's offers speedy and affordable rooftop lunch, catering for events both large and small, innovative cuisine, as well as vegetarian and gluten-free menus. Come to Tally's for live music, dry-aged steaks, Sunday brunch, and all-you-can-eat ribs every Monday night. Tally's Restaurant Bar and Catering at 2712 Beaver Avenue. Call 279-2067. That's 279-2067.
On March 28th, Equal Justice After Hours is Iowa Legal Aid's annual fundraiser that helps provide access to justice for low-income Iowans. The event includes a reception and program at the Temple for the Performing Arts in Des Moines. It also includes remarks by Georgetown University law professor Peter Edelman and the induction of Robert Oberbilly into the Iowa Legal Aid Hall of Fame. Tickets start at $50 and sponsorship opportunities are available. Contact Terry Bennett at tbennett@iowalaw.org. That's tbennett@iowalaw.org.
Ludwig van Beethoven here. I used to be so tired all the time, not from composing and playing, but from moving my piano. But now I feel so much better. I call S&P Piano and they will bring my piano anywhere. They also sell and rent pianos, used ones, new ones. You get the idea.
Call S&P Piano right away at 208-6453. That's 208-6453.
S&P Piano.
Times are tough, and most people are just trying to make their cars last a little bit longer. That's why you should know about Sargent's Garage in Des Moines. You can trust Sargent's to make the right diagnosis and give you a fair price. Whether it's a routine oil change or a major repair, Sargent's always does outstanding work. So don't give up on that old car just yet. Call Sargent's Garage at 246-8149. That's 246-8149 for Sargent's Garage.
Nestled in the heart of downtown, Ritual Cafe is one of Des Moines' most unique places, offering a wide variety of coffee and tea. Ritual Cafe also serves the only all-vegetarian menu in town. And Ritual Cafe is a cultural hub for artists and musicians, with a performance stage hosting local, national, and international talent. Make Ritual Cafe a part of your daily ritual. On 13th Street between Locust and Grand in downtown Des Moines. And check out ritualcafe.com.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
You know, if I was packing heat right now, folks, I would take my little handgun and I'd blow this keyboard away. I am so frustrated with technology. Oh, if the keyboard had a neck, I would grab it and ring it a little bit. But of course, I'm also committed to nonviolence, so none of that would happen, even if I had the opportunity. But bad keyboard, down. Hey, welcome to the show, folks. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Troy Church is hosting with me today. Whatever. Hello. Troy Church, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Ed. How you doing?
Troy's the author of the Bigfoot Diaries.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, and so we're going to talk about the cultural scene here in Des Moines. First, though, I do want to recognize the Iowa chapter of the Sierra Club for helping to sponsor this program, and also Iowa Physicians for Social Responsibility. And particularly for this segment of the show, I want to thank Gateway Market and Cafe. And I also want to thank, speaking of culture, Brother Trucker for kicking off the show with their tune, Downtown. Troy, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Ed. How's it going today?
Good. How come you're not at work?
I'm on spring break this week.
They give adults spring break these days?
Yes.
Well, good for you. Where's my dang spring break? Where's my spring break? I don't know.
Aren't you in charge of your own destiny?
I think we all are, actually. Last I checked.
Well, I mean, you could set your own spring break.
Well, I
think you tried that once, didn't you?
Yeah, I told people once, I get 8 weeks of vacation a year. I just don't have time to take any of it.
Right.
All right. Hey, so you've been tied in with the music scene a long time, and you do a lot to promote bands and concerts and the cultural scene on your website. I mean, Bigfoot Diaries does talk about the issues as well.
Not so much as, very, very little. We do more music than anything
You really don't care
else.
about the issues, is it?
It's just not the format for it. That's my Facebook page, basically. The Frisbee golf course.
It's part of our cultural scene here, isn't it?
It is. We do more music than anything else, and that's kind of what I'm tapped into with the Bigfoot Diaries.
Yeah. Well, I know it's a great resource, and you're getting a lot of traffic from around the world, even.
Yes, we did a piece on punk rock in South Africa, which was an underground movement, and
Underground meaning illegal?
at one point it was.
Really?
Yeah.
How cool is that?
It was really cool because bands were forming based off smuggled magazine articles. You know, people were forming bands in South Africa based off. Basically, they'd read an article about a band here in the United States, and in their own mind's eye, they would put a band together based off of that notion. You know, and it was all hush hush.
And that was somehow illegal?
And at one point in South Africa, it was.
Exciting.
Yes.
So you picked up a following in other parts of the world.
Yes.
Good. You rabble rouser, you.
I'm a jet setter.
Yeah, well, and you're also well connected to a lot of the great artists we have here in the local music scene, and you've dragged kicking and screaming a couple of them into the studio with you today.
Yeah, we have Dill.
They're done screaming, but they're still kicking a little bit.
We got Dill Saxman Jones.
Yes, how you doing,
He's
everybody?
a Iowa Blues Hall of Famer. He brought in the singer for the final mix band, which is Dell's band. It's Pa Cha Vang.
Hi, everybody.
And yep. And I did an article on Dill. Well, Dill had me into his house, I guess about a year and a half ago. Yeah. And it was 4 hours we sat there, and Dill told me his amazing story, and I've been wanting to get that out there. So I thought this would be a perfect opportunity when you offered me the chance to come in here and do the show with you, Ed.
Well, actually, this is makeup time, because when I was gone to Florida in December and other places, you were supposed to guest host for me one day.
Right.
And God saw fit to supply a blizzard of epic proportions, forcing you to stay home. It was a message. You should have taken the message. But no, you're back. You're back. Here you are.
It was funny because I came down, and I was the only one who made it that day. And
that's how you did make it.
My guest got stuck, and they couldn't make it. And I was kind of panicking at the moment, thinking, oh, my gosh, what am I going to do? I don't have guests.
I'm going to say your guests were the sensible ones. So what I heard of that blizzard, your guests had more sense than you did.
Right. And your producer. So
and my producer.
So it
for a change.
It was kind of a sigh of relief, actually. But
yeah. All right. So to tell us a little bit about your art, your venue, what do you do?
Well, Final Mix is basically a party band. So
party band?
Yes. Meaning some bands kind of come with a genre, they just kind of play through the material. But we're more kind of a party band. We like to get people involved. I keep trying to get Troy up on stage with us, and have him do.
Trying to ruin the party or what?
Well, add to the entertainment. Put it like that.
All right, there you go. Yeah, I got that. So you must have had a big weekend.
Yes, we had a huge week. Actually,
so did the police department, apparently.
I bet they did. I saw them sitting on the curb.
Yeah, I think they arrested nearly 200 people.
Did they really?
No one in the studio, though, right?
No.
Okay,
never got arrested.
No.
Yeah, good.
No, all we did is entertain them.
So when you say party band, what kind of genre of music?
We're doing anything from today's hits, anything like from Rihanna to Adele, Pitbull, Black Eyed Peas, to some of those I call standard classic stuff like Temptations, James Brown, Prince, Michael Jackson.
Nice.
So we kind of cover a spectrum because there was a need for playing diversity as ages. Because one night we play a club that may be what I call fake IDs at 25. And so then you got to have the music they listen to, and then next time we may play a room that's 35 and up.
Okay.
So then they want to hear. They don't want to hear no Lady Gaga. They want to hear that Temptations and Commodore.
But I like Lady Gaga.
Oh yeah, you do, but not all night long.
Well, not the music all night long.
Yeah,
No, that's
right.
true. Yeah, okay.
See, so we put little things that you'll like, and then your kids will like.
I mean, I might be able to hang out with Lady Gaga all night long. That could be kind of fun, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
I think
probably would be.
she seems like a pretty interesting person.
You have
But
to move fast, keep up.
that's right. So, what kind of instrumentations are we looking at in your band?
We're looking at basically there's 7 of us on stage, a 4-piece rhythm section, bass guitar, keyboards, drums, and guitar. And my cousin Max G is one of the big singers, performers out front with the band. Him and Pacha, they carry most of the weight.
Okay.
And then some of the other musicians, like the bass player, Bubba Day, me, keyboard player, we kind of fill in the gaps. So when they need a break, we bring in. I come and do the James Brown stuff. You can tell by the voice.
Yeah.
And then we have others that do whatever their genre is. And one of the things that makes unique is we have 7 voices. So with 7
Really, all
voices,
7 musicians sing as well.
They got to.
Cool.
They have to.
But you're the one carrying the weight, Pacha.
I wouldn't say that I carry all the
Well,
weight.
that's what Del said. I'm going to go with him.
The weight is definitely splitted.
Okay.
I'd put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're primarily one of the lead singers.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm up front. So.
I have not. I've heard Del play. I have not heard you sing. That needs to change.
You should definitely make some time to come
You got a
out
mic in
and-
front of you right now. You ready to lay it out?
Oh, today?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, no.
We don't have the band behind you today.
Oh, no. I got to have my guys with me.
Yeah.
We bought a little sample that maybe be able to hear.
Okay. Oh yeah. I mean, we'll do that. We'll do that going into the second segment. Okay. Yeah. So how long you been performing?
I've been with the band for, it'll be 3 years in June. Prior to that, I was doing jazz gigs with another local musician. So, but that was like maybe a couple of months before that. And then I jumped in with Final Mix Band, and here I am today doing interviews with Ed Fallon.
Well, it doesn't get any better than that, really.
No, of course not.
So when you guys are learning new music, how long does it take from hearing the song on the radio to
Actually producing it.
to putting it
It
together?
kind of depends on the song. Some songs we can pick up, and then there's some we have to put a little time into because it maybe have intricate background harmonies. There's a song we're working on now by Neo that has some different rhythms in it, and putting that together is taking a little work. When it's done, it'll be worth it, but some certain songs will take 2 or 3 practices. Then some are just, hey man, I got that. Let's knock this out and move on to the next song.
It's easy.
Yeah, just kind of depends. And when you got, like I said, the voices, then it kind of helps, you know, because you got different ranges. If it's out of her range or it's not in Max's range and it's in someone else's, or we'll have to change the key.
That's the advantage of having such a broad range of
Right.
vocalists.
Most
yeah.
bands have 1, maybe 2 lead vocals, and everybody else is just kind
Now,
of.
if I was your lead singer, you'd have a range. I mean, I would sound good for about maybe a 3 or 4 note range. Yeah. But maybe 8 on a good day.
You can do
know?
Louis Armstrong, see.
That's only because I have a bit of a cold.
You can do that.
No, you do that well. That's good. That's good. So, are you both Des Moines natives?
Yes, I was born and raised in Des Moines.
Really great.
Yeah, mine was too.
Yeah. And where did you study music? Where did you learn how to play, sing?
It's just something that was always around in the house, and it just the one thing that I picked up on. So that's really what it was. I didn't really have anything to do. My parents didn't
So, out
let
of
me-
boredom, you became a musician.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really have a choice. My parents didn't really let me have a childhood. I guess you could put it that way. So, music was all I had, and I couldn't play anything.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, my parents were immigrants, so they had that insecurity of having their child go out into the dangerous world.
Well, I mean, I think every immigrant family is like that. I mean, my grandparents were the immigrants. They came over. I've been here for less than 100 years. You know, they came to New York in the 20s, and you know, they were just fighting to survive. They, you know, like a lot of immigrant families, they flee hunger, maybe war. In the case of the Irish, both. You know, and so I mean, yeah, I can understand where that comes from, but you've done well to be able to
She does
come
quite
along.
well.
Yeah,
Try.
She's very young.
and you started playing at an early age as well.
I started at an early age. My mom was a singer. She used to have her and her sisters had a vocal group. This is back, do you remember the Ted Mack amateur hour days? Where they were, I was told, and I've seen pictures and stuff of my mom and her sisters performing. And then as the kids got older, each of us learned an instrument, so it became the Jones recital at church.
Oh,
And so mom would perform, my sister played piano, I'd play sax, another brother played trumpet, another one played drums, and it would be the Jones show. And that's how I got started in the music business. Somebody was in the audience that needed a sax player. I was about 18, and called me in, and then where I went.
So you actually did well for yourself, didn't you? You played with James Brown and Ike and Tina Turner.
Right. And I got to work with Prince and C.C. Ryder. So once I kind of got into the world.
Well, we are not worthy.
Then,
that's impressive.
Well, when the band first went down south, went down to Georgia, and I'd never been down south before. And then down there we were playing with a guy named Bob Marchand, Shake Your Money Maker.
Shake Your Money Maker, right.
Remember that hit? Mm-hmm. So anyway, he needed a band, and we needed a good, foothold to get in the area down there. And so then we teamed up as a team, and we toured around and played all the clubs. So I started playing with people like B.B. King and shows like Joe Tex, people like that, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Betty Wright. And then James Brown needed a sax player one day. One was leaving. Fortunately, I was in the right place at the right time and managed to fill the requirements. So where I went with James Brown during the Sex Machine days. So.
And you have a pretty good story about the Houston Astrodome, about James Brown being a stickler for being on time.
Well, I got introduced to the fine system real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The fine system?
Yes. When you go in the band, they have basically a list of rules and things like that, do's and don'ts. So I hadn't experienced the fine yet. So far, I'm a rookie and learning. So one of my second gigs was the Houston Astrodome. So anyway, on our itinerary, it said bus leaving at 7. So I come down about 7 to get on the bus, and the bus is already loaded, and they're pulling off at 7. So I told the mate to give me a cab. So cab came out. I said, follow those buses. So we follow the buses and get to the dome, right? And buses go in, then they close the doors. And I'm trying to get in. The security guy says, well, you got to go on the front. And I said, no, I'm in the band. He said, well, where's your pass? It's on the bus. Well, where's your stage clothes? On the bus. He said, yeah, right. You go around front and, and pay like everybody else. So meanwhile, we go around to the front. So now the guys in the front don't believe me. They're like, yeah, sure. No, I said, really? I could hear him sound checking.
Right.
And so the guy was saying, I'm not going to make a fool of myself, call back there and, trying to get some guy in.
Right.
And I said, please, if you just call the MC, he'll verify me. We've called Johnny Mac. So finally he did, and then they let me in. So meanwhile, I can see the band on stage snickering. Cause I'm coming down the steps, right?
And this is your second gig.
And that's right? My second gig, see? And they're thinking,
did they chew you out?
Oh, they're thinking rookie. Rookie. So anyway, needless to say, that little day cost me about $350.
Oh, wow.
That's funny.
That reminds me a little bit of a friend of mine who got drunk in Canada, needed to come back to the U.S., had forgot all his materials, passport, whatever, was not allowed to come into the country, tried to get back into Canada. They wouldn't let him back in Canada. He was stuck on the bridge. He couldn't get in either direction. Okay, that's a bit of a tangent, but that's what popped into my mind, this situation where you just can't, where you need to be, and you can't get in either direction.
Yeah. And
So did he call an MC to come and get him? And
eventually he snuck under the bridge into the U.S. soil and was picked up the next day by U.S. authorities.
Nice.
He's an actor, actors aren't as bright as us musicians.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So, you haven't been around quite as long, Pacha, but you've got to have some stories as well.
Oh, being with the guys, I definitely have stories.
Sure, to New York last year.
What?
Yeah.
Well, we played New York last
Yeah.
year.
Oh, you played New York?
Yeah,
cool.
I drove 24 hours to New York. We were in the van for 24 hours straight.
Oh.
So that was interesting. And it was me versus 4 other guys because some of them had flown and there was 5 of us in the van. And we were hauling across and had a trailer on the van, and it was crazy. It was because I've never driven like that, especially with a huge van and a trailer on the back. I'm like, well, it's your turn to drive. I'm like, huh, what?
Break in the rookie.
Yeah, they had.
We got a flat, straight surface. Here you go.
You found a different way to get broken in.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You went on a long drive.
Yeah.
so what was the gig in New York that you played?
Wedding.
Oh, it was a wedding.
It was a wedding, yeah. So we made a kind of a trip out of it, wedding paid for everything, and then since we're there, we might as well explore all the sights and sounds of New York City. So we did. We went to the B.B. King's Club, we went to Smalls, we went to Apollo, we went to different, we tried to hit as many spots as we could.
Excellent.
While we were there. Instead of just sitting in a hotel room, I said, we're here, we might as well go out. I used to live there back in the 70s, So I know New York, and I don't want to live there. It's fun to do work and get out, but some of them hadn't been there before. So
if there's any doubt that Des Moines has not become the cultural and culinary crossroads of the continent, that's the story right there. They don't have enough talent in New York to hire their own people for weddings. They got to call Iowa to get good quality wedding bands.
There you go.
All right. Hey, we got to go to a short break here, folks. I want to thank Gateway Market for sponsoring this segment of our show. They're at 20th and Woodland in the Sherman Hill neighborhood. You know, no need to shop at one of these big health food stores that just ships your money out of state to some corporate headquarters in, maybe say Austin, Texas. So, Gateway's got it all. They not just have a fantastic selection of groceries, a lot of it from local sources, but they've got that cafe for breakfast, lunch, and supper as well, and a catering service. So check them out, folks. That's Gateway Market and Cafe at 20th and Woodland. We'll be back in a minute with more talk with Del Saxman-Jones, with Pachavang and Troy Church hosting with me today here on the Fallon Forum.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Drug and alcohol addiction slowly steals a person's identity, tearing away pieces of their life little by little until one day it seems like the hope of a happy future is gone and there's no chance of getting it back. Here at St. Gregory Retreat Centers, we can assure you that there is hope. Our unique approach to recovery begins with the understanding that the dysfunction and damage caused by addiction can be overcome, not just dealt with. Don't let another day go by. Call St. Gregory today.
The dawn of a new era begins.
Well, good morning. This is the 7th of June in the Lord's year 2010, and this is day one of webcast1live.com. We will begin with Max World Live with my special guest, Tom Coates. In just a minute, there's Tom. Wait. Howdy. And we will be live for the very first time on Webcast One Live. Someday we're going to look back on this and say, gosh, remember that old day in history? Wonder where Walter Cronkite was. He must have been around hanging there too. But actually, it's the beginning of Webcast One Live. And thank you for listening. Thanks, Rob Spearman, and everybody who's put together this project together. And we're ready to go live now. So thanks for listening to MaxWorldLive.com.
I can't tell you that it's going real well from time to time, but it is going, man.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
So welcome back to the conversation. We're going to try to cue up some music from Del and Pacha's band here, but it looks like we'll have to wait till the next segment to do that. I want to thank Community CPA and Associates for sponsoring this segment of our show, and Yingsa will be joining us later in the program to answer tax and accounting questions. Troy,
Do I have any tax questions? Is that what you're
Yeah,
asking?
you got any tax questions? Or are you just a kind of a tax evader?
I just kind of just invade. my
Invade?
taxes. Yeah.
Yeah, 'tis the season. We're all real excited about that, you know?
Yeah, April 15 is always a fun day.
At this point, I'd be willing to pay taxes just to end winter.
They should put a tax on winter. That'd be maybe.
You know, the truth is, you know, people think, well, this is an incredibly cold month. Well, hey, it is a cold month, but you know, it's it's like the 24th coldest March on record in the past 140 years.
And wasn't last year the hottest?
Last year
March?
was the hottest. You know?
So
that's probably more the norm.
What's causing that?
Oh, climate change.
But why is it? Why the extreme?
Too much hot air from people like you and me, and maybe fossil fuels as well.
Maybe the fossil
Maybe
fuels.
a little bit of that. Yeah. So you guys, again, Del Saxman Jones with us, and Pacha Vang. You have actually traveled internationally to perform as well.
Yes.
How exciting is that?
Well, I first started going overseas probably in the late 70s. I took split decisions to Japan and Korea and Hawaii. And I guess Korea is not really popular right now. It's a little warm over there.
Yeah.
And then later, after I left Prince in '88, he got married in about '88, and then his tour slowed down. So then I hooked up with CC Riders. I don't know if you remember Wayne Cochran and CC Riders. Wayne retired, and CC Riders were a group, and told us we're going to open up a major hotel in Hong Kong, Grand Hyatt, a new phase of hotels. And this hotel is about 6 blocks square. And Prince Charles' lady died before she died. They cut the ribbon on that hotel in '89. And at that time, digital cameras were out like they are now. I missed a photo op so great. That's one of the ops I missed. I said, now I'd have my camera everywhere I go. But back then.
Ouch.
And so anyway, it worked out. It's supposed to be for 6 months. And in Hong Kong, if you know Hong Kong, there's 13, 14 million people there.
13, 14 million.
Yeah, somewhere in that.
4 Iowas.
In that, yes.
5.
And one thing about the city, it's a very fast city. Hong Kong is not at all what I thought. Way past the rickshaw days. Ultra modern, very high tech. Some of the tallest buildings in the world. They have. So anyway, as we played there, it became a home base, and so other Hyatts opened up 22 Hyatts in Asia. So for the next 10 years, that's what I did. I traveled New Zealand, Australia, Indonesia. Singapore, Bangkok, Taiwan, Japan, opened up Grand Hyatt hotels.
And did you just pretty much live on the road for?
We lived in those hotels.
Really?
So
and for how many years?
10 years.
Wow.
10 years. And then we had
A man without a country.
Well,
a man with many countries.
Yes, my passport was quite thick. So it's funny when I see a new passport. Now we call them virgin passport because it's so thin. And you know, mine's been added pages 2 or 3 times, so it's like a book. You know, with all the trips and stuff in. So my wife got one the other week, and it was a virgin passport. I said, look at that little passport.
Let's get some miles on that thing.
Yeah. And she's Swiss. I met her in Bangkok about 20 years ago.
Really?
And so we're going back for a 20-year reunion next year. Same hotel that I opened up. Called the Grand, look it up on the internet, Grand Hyatt Erdogan Hotel. And we did Jean-Claude Van Damme's wedding there as well. So anyway, we'll go do our 20-year anniversary there next year.
You're taking the band there next year.
Yeah, we want to take the final mix.
You're gonna take
Swadika
Pacha with you?
Yeah, of course.
Now, Pacha, you have some restrictions because of your age. Is that right?
That's right. It's definitely a little bit harder based on age restrictions, and I'm surprised that I've even gotten so far with my age being so young. So.
And you're 20 years old. Is that right?
Yep, I just turned 20 in January.
So are there ways to find loopholes in the system so you can play in bars on weekends, or how? Or what's
this kind of basically how it works. The casinos are more a little more stickler than clubs. As long as she doesn't drink in clubs, she's fine, and she doesn't drink anyway. And the hotels and clubs is fine. Casinos, some are picky because some of them have staff working there that are 18, 19. Now, unfortunately, Prairie Meadows doesn't want to do the extra step to let her perform there. So that's one of the
really.
few
You mean
casinos.
you can go play in New York and Houston and
Everywhere
foreign
else.
countries, but you can't play at Prairie Meadows?
Exactly. And they said, and I asked
that
them
is
about
all
that.
kinds of wrong.
And they said they just didn't want to fool with the paperwork.
Is that right?
How big a deal can that be?
It's not a big deal. All they do is get a special permit to let, and then they escort her on and off the gaming floor. But they didn't want to.
Here's where music gets
that.
political.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Have you talked with anybody on the board of supervisors about this?
Well, we talked to our bosses who does the hiring, and I tried to get them to push Prairie Meadows to do that, to let her perform. You know, otherwise the band has to perform without her, which we don't like to do. And
no, I think that would be pretty much a waste of time, right?
Well,
no, I'm kidding.
Oh, of course, we gotta have.
I'm kidding.
So anyway, that's one of the sticklers, and
Yeah, but-
so anytime we do casinos, we have to let them know ahead of time that we have someone that's below 21, and what's their hotel policy.
Mm-hmm.
Some are cool with it, and like if you like Prairie Meadows, then you're not.
But you guys draw a pretty big crowd.
Yes.
And at Prairie Meadows, I would think
We're the
the
number
benefits would outweigh the negatives as far
Yeah,
as you
you'd
guys
think
playing.
they would go ahead and if I said, well, no Pacha, no final mix, then maybe they'd bend a little bit more. But since they figure we can get the band without it, we'll just go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Make that money.
I think that's a problem that could be fixed with the right kind of political pressure.
Right. That's
I mean, the board of supervisors runs that place.
Right.
You know, most casinos are now owned by some big corporation from Las Vegas or somewhere, but that one is still owned and operated by, well, essentially by the residents of Polk County through the board of supervisors, and they're in the position of helping influence, shall we say, policies and practices at the casino.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that would be an easy one for them to change.
Could we do Riverside? We do
bit of
Riverside
pressure.
Casino. We do Meskwaki. No
yeah,
problem.
you did Osceola not too long ago.
Yeah, we won the Battle of the Band.
So you do the other casinos.
Right. Except Prairie Meadows.
But you can't play in your own town.
Can't play in your own town.
That's all right.
No prophet or musician is recognized in their own town, right?
Yeah. Well, anyway, another story I was going to tell Troy about was, fortunately, we opened up the Planet Hollywood Club. You remember they started in the States when they branched out in Asia. So we got to meet people like Sharon Stone, Naomi Campbell, and then at one point we got all the superheroes on stage. Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal, Bruce Willis.
At the same time.
At the same time.
It's like the Expendables on stage.
Yeah, that's what we had. That's exactly what we had. And so I actually, some of them play instruments. Bruce Willis, he plays and sings.
Mm-hmm.
So does Steven Seagal. John Clown plays congos. We gave Arnold Schwarzenegger a tambourine, made him stand in a corner. Well, we didn't make him, we just persuaded him.
Right.
You stand over here and shake that. And that's all we did. So we had all superheroes
Arnold
up
playing
there.
the tambourine. I like
Yes,
that a
I
lot.
shake this right
Very,
here.
very cool.
Yeah, that's where it worked.
I am not a musical girly man. Look at me.
And so off of that,
Sorry, lots of fun with that possibility.
Oh, well, you keep doing
well.
Thank you. Thank you.
And off of that, we got John Clown's fourth wedding.
Who?
John Clown, when he got married
Oh, yeah.
his fourth time, is in Bangkok. He hired us to play for him.
I didn't know you had a band when you were getting married a fourth time.
Yeah. Well, that marriage didn't last long. You know how John is. He kind of moves him in, moves him out.
There's a word for that, I think.
Probably multiple words for that. Yeah.
So what's the so you opened up Planet Hollywood with all these guests on there. Are you still in touch with these guys? Are you
Yeah,
friends with
someone's
these
on
guys?
Facebook I talked to. I talked to John Clown on Facebook. Steven Seagal is still one I communicate with. You know, he has a band that tours around.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
I thought he was doing a reality TV cop show.
Yeah, he's got his fingers in all kinds of stuff. But he's got a band, a 5-piece blues band. And they sound good.
You should get him to come to Des Moines.
Yeah, I should talk about that. They always say, "Where's Des Moines? Where's
Right.
Des Moines?" Because every time they've seen me, it's been overseas, like in Hong Kong or Bangkok or Indonesia.
Just
They've
tell them
never
we're in
seen
the
me
center of the
States.
universe.
That's what I'm telling
If
them.
you want to find them one, look for the
I
center
tell
of
them
the
it's
universe.
just, they're Chicago.
Well, I got a friend who's he's in a international band, a band called Pavement, and he was in New York doing I think it was Letterman, and he was backstage with some other musical guest, and he mentioned he lived in Des Moines, and they brought up the fact that they had heard that Des Moines has this hopping little scene.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the word is out there.
Okay.
And another thing that happened once, Tom Zutaut was in town promoting the fabulous Miss Wendy, who played at the House of Bricks. He is the AR director for Epic Records. He signed Guns N' Roses. He also signed Motley Crue. And there's a band in town that night called the Ma playing, and he told everybody who would listen that they were better than anything going on the Sunset Strip right now.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
This was a local band.
Yes.
Wow.
And I mean, there's this scene is slowly making a name for itself. You know, we're this little hub. So,
And it should be because it's in the middle of cities that are already great.
Right.
Minneapolis, the scene, Chicago, Kansas City, they all have history of music. You know, Kansas City for jazz, and then Chicago for all genres, basically. Blues, jazz, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Minneapolis, Prince put that on the map. And so then here's Des Moines. We're waiting to get on the map.
right. And it's funny because the way Des Moines works, I've noticed, is you might have a regional band play on a Friday night, and it draws 5 people.
Yeah.
But you might have a national, or even a local band play on a Wednesday night, and the place is packed. It's just, you can never. And I've heard it from promoters that have said that Des Moines is, one of 4 cities in the nation where there's never a guarantee on what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're finicky.
And I know with your band, you pretty much know what you're going to get every time. You have a massive following.
Yeah.
And
it takes a lot of push, a lot of promotion, a lot of hype. You have to constantly do that. We have fans that get married, move away, or that do other things. You constantly building new fans all the time.
So, Pacha, in terms of training, education, have you studied music in school? Is that still?
I've studied a little bit, some of the music theory and stuff. I've taken some voice lessons, and I've studied a little bit of piano and guitar, but I'm still working on it. Because I wish that I could get my piano and guitar to the level of my singing, but that singing
takes a lot of practice.
Yeah, a lot of practice and a lot of time. So, it's very time consuming.
Do you have a quote a day job nowadays, or?
Nope, I work as the band assistant, and everything that I do is it's surrounded with the band.
That's
so.
you both make a living doing this.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
See, that's there aren't a lot of folks who can do that in music, art, theater, you name it. It's
Definitely.
I mean, and I think part of it's incumbent upon those of us who appreciate good cultural offerings to support that, whether it's forking out the bucks to go to a play or an art show or a good band. We got to support you all.
Exactly. That's the only way we can keep moving.
Yeah.
For those
Otherwise, you'll
carpenters.
go back to Asia for 10 years.
Yeah, I'll go back again.
or all those New Yorkers who don't have any good wedding bands, they will hire you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're going off to Nevada here pretty soon.
You're gonna go to Nevada?
Yeah, we're gonna play at Casablanca Resort. That's Mesquite.
See, on that one you can play at Pacha.
I cannot.
Oh, you
actually.
cannot. They're like Prairie Meadows.
Yeah, they're just like Prairie Meadows. I'll be getting substituted for that week, but.
Ouch.
That'll be fun. I'll get to have a weekend off because I can actually be a typical 20-year-old and have a weekend off.
So in 10 months from now, though, you'll be 21 and you can play anywhere you want.
Oh yeah, we'll be going back for sure.
We'll be going back. We'll spin. Yeah.
So are you ever looking at doing a tour, a national tour again, or are you?
Well, this way the music scene has kind of gotten is instead of like before we used to go out and stay for months. We would stay on the road for 2 and 3 months at a time, come back home, and then take off again. Way the road's structured now, a lot of rooms have dwindled from 4 and 5 days a week to 2 and 3 days. So that means out of 7 days, there's 4 days you're gonna be sitting. So what we found to do is go out and do tours, come back, like 2 or 3 weeks. Go out to 2 or 3 weeks, come back, 2 or 3 weeks, come back, and play in resorts like in Padre Island, down in Texas. Places that still do 5 days, because last thing you want to do is go on the road and then only work 3 days, and then 4 days you're off, and that means you're spending money, either in hotels, food, and that kind of stuff, and that can eat up the days that you work.
Right. So it doesn't pay to go.
No. And so basically you have to do it smartly. So we do as many weddings and corporate parties and festivals as possible. Yeah. And then on slow times, like when we call on the winter months, when you're pretty much limited to clubs, no outside events, then that's where we want to do tours, like go to Florida. I just came back from the Dominican Republic. I was there for a week. So I'm sending some things for the band to go back. I was at the Hard Rock down there. So I'm working to do things like that, take the band to the Caribbean, anywhere down south in wintertime for 2 or 3 weeks at a time and then come back.
Man, sounds fun. Have you ever had a Blues Brothers moment where you got into a venue that you really weren't quite...
Miles City, Montana.
Yeah?
He has it by name already. Look at that.
Miles City, Montana. Our agent... was out of Minneapolis. The club owner apparently wanted to change the genre. They were pretty much known for a country bar. Nice place.
Country and Western.
Yeah, country and Western. But it was real nice. I mean, it was brick. It was real nice. Some country bars are a little suspect. But this one was really nice. But there was a local disco in town that was just kicking their butt. So he wanted to change the format to be more of a dance format like we do. Eliminate the cowboys, kind of, and bring in more dance kind of a band to the country band. So we were a big changeover. As we rolled into town, we noticed the black population went to 6 when we pulled into town. So anyway,
the what population did?
The population changed.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, the thing about it was the first night, of course, it was like a shock to the regulars, but then the word went out, and boy, the club did a whole night. They kept us another extra week.
Nice.
Because it did what he wanted. And so then the countries had to go to a different bar. And then some actually end up liking what we play. So, they really don't like that kind of music, but the way you guys play it, I can deal with that.
Well, you guys are fun. I mean, I'm not a top 40 guy either, but I love watching you guys play.
We try to make people have fun instead of, if you interact with people, it kind of gets them involved when they see other people getting on stage doing things. It makes it a little more animated, a little more fun than just seeing the band up there all night long dancing and do stuff, So you never know when you're going to get called.
Now, one very important question I have for you is, do you have an accordion player?
Oh, we're looking for one. You have an idea?
Well, yeah, Troy's dad.
Yeah, he's.
Well, and if he can't make it, maybe I could fill in.
Okay, you do spoons or anything?
I only when I'm doing oatmeal.
He's pretty fast, isn't he?
He's quick.
Well,
quick
you got to be quick to be able to stay ahead of the people who want my head. No, I do play accordion. I've been playing that since I was 7. Kind of started when I was young. And I had a grandmother that played who taught me how to play. Yeah. But there was also, the accordion can be loud. It can be something that the rest of your family learns to hate pretty quickly.
What about drum?
Playing what?
What about drum? We had 2 drum sets in our house.
2 drum sets, yeah.
My mom said we're going to drive her nuts. She said they're going to come pick me up one day.
Get the wagon, Charlie.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's been great having you on the show.
Well, thanks for having us.
And what's your next upcoming gig here in Des Moines if folks want to check it out?
We'll be at Daytona's on Friday.
This coming Friday?
This coming Friday at Daytona's over on Merle Hay Road.
Okay.
Saturday?
What time?
Saturday we'll be at Mickey's Irish Pub in Waukee.
Okay.
That's always a fun city.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cover charge or?
I don't know if he does or not.
I don't know. I don't think there's a cover charge.
So Daytona's on Friday, Mickey's on Saturday.
Mickey's Waukee, yeah.
And they're both going to allow the underage singer.
Got to get there quick.
I'll be there.
Good. All right. Good.
Shaking her booty.
I'm still shaking my head about that Prairie Meadows thing.
Yeah.
We'll start a petition.
Yeah.
We should get Ed to do something. Ed's got some pull in the system, I think.
It's not really but you just need one phone call. One phone call to the right person and you can get that fixed. And I think.
We're going to talk to you, Ed.
All right, we'll talk. Yeah. All right. All right, folks, we're going to get back in a little bit, talk a little bit about Republicans and immigration, but mostly talk about taxes and accounting. Lee Ying Sa is going to join us. She's with Community CPA. When we come back to you, we're going to play a sample of your music because I think folks would love to have a little taste of that if they are not familiar with it. So again, thanks so much. We'll be back in just a minute, folks.
Thanks.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Community CPA is the 15th largest CPA firm in Iowa, providing audit, tax, and accounting services. Community CPA specializes in international tax treaty and double taxation avoidance among countries and states. 9 dedicated, experienced, hardworking staff are the company's foundation, and their compassion towards every client is the secret behind Community CPA's success. At Community CPA, you can expect quality service year-round. Call 288-3188. Community CPA, 3816 Ingersoll. Experience the difference.
This is Dr. Holding, the Story County Veterinary Clinic. For 15 years, we have been spaying and neutering feral cat groups at affordable prices. Wild cats destroy game birds and songbirds. A single female cat can produce over 4,000 kittens in 7 years. The shelters are full, so unwanted kittens will be put to sleep. Your cats will stay home and stay healthy. Call us for all your dog and cat needs at the Story County Veterinary Clinic between Ames and Nevada on Highway 30, 1 mile east of Interstate 35, 515-232-8766.
Since 1994, Sid's Catering has graced Des Moines area events with quality service and rave reviews. Owner Sid Cohn's culinary career began with a Northeast Iowa vacation home for international clientele. Sid earned a Bachelor of Science in Hotel Restaurant Management and was the assistant clubhouse manager at Des Moines Golf and Country Club. Sid has a passion for fresh, local products and offers a wide range of options, including vegan, gluten-free, and ethnic. Mention the Fallon Forum when you book your breakfast or lunch event and get 10% off. Contact Sid's Catering at 208-2091. That's Sid's Catering at 208-2091.
Local farms, global flavor. That's the secret to Hawk's growing popularity. The best meals begin with the best ingredients, and 90% of Hawk's ingredients come from local farms. In addition to seasonal fruits and vegetables, Hawk features grass-fed beef and lamb, and pasture-raised chicken and duck, all raised without hormones, steroids, or cages. The coffee is fair trade, locally roasted, and Hawk's House liquors come from right here in Iowa. Hawk's owners go the extra mile, composting organic waste and recycling. For more information or to make reservations, visit hawktable.com. That's HOQ table.com.
It's time to think about upgrading the efficiency of your furnace and air conditioner. Leonard Tinker Heating and Cooling has provided honest, competent service for over 20 years. Whether it's your home or business, for repair work or to install a more energy-efficient furnace or air conditioner, call Leonard Tinker at 263-0422. That's 263-0422. For honest, competent heating and cooling service, call Leonard Tinker at 263-0422.
I love driving to Newton to see the races.
Me too, but I only have to drive across town.
You live in Newton?
Yep, Newton's got small town charm and it's close to Des Moines. I love the safe, friendly neighborhoods and family-owned businesses. And Newton's wind energy industry is really taking off.
How'd you find your home?
Dan Kelly with First Choice Realty. And Dan helped me find my office too.
Next time, instead of just speeding by, I'll stop in and check out Newton.
Why don't you check out Newton? Call Dan Kelly at 641-521-9260 or Dan Kelly at mchsi.com.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
That's a little bit of Dale and Pacha's music, bringing us back to our conversation here on the final segment of the Fallon Forum. I do want to talk for a second. Troy Church is still with me. I know I tried to throw him out. I called the bouncers. The guy's big, he's strong, he's intimidating, and so he's going to sit in with me on the next segment as well. Troy, you troublemaker.
I hope I don't ruin your show for you.
Well,
we're doing good so far.
Listen, I can ruin the show on my own. I don't need your help.
Okay.
All right, folks. I want to just real quick on two things, and Troy, just jump on this as well. It is fascinating to me to see the Republican Party getting, shall we say, religion on the issue of immigration. I mean, this is an issue that they have dug their heels in on this for so long. You know, build the fence and do nothing in terms of trying to find some way to accommodate the 12 million folks who are here, who are already part of the workforce and paying taxes. And I can't believe what we're hearing from Rand Paul. I mean, Rand Paul said that illegal immigrants should be allowed to become U.S. taxpayers and ultimately get a shot at citizenship. Whoa, that's from the leader of the Tea Party movement, or one of the key leaders and a probable Republican candidate for president saying that. Could you imagine that 6 months ago?
What's the state of the Republican Party right now? They're just kind of doing a turn on their heels. I keep hearing there's two Republican parties now. There's They're
anymore.
reinventing themselves, but the curtain's already been pulled. We know it's already there.
Yeah. Well, it'll be fascinating to see where this transformation goes, because it's a huge shift to suddenly be talking about really dealing with the need to reform immigration policy. That is a big step forward, and to come from Rand Paul, again, Tea Party leader,
and from the South even.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, it's interesting to see, and the Republican Party is coming around on marriage equality. They're not bashing gays and lesbians like they used to do. I'm waiting to see whether they'll come around on climate change. I mean, that's a huge crisis.
That's
we also have to wait to see the Democrats come around on it as well.
What are they going to meet in the middle? That's the question I have, I guess.
Are they going to meet in the middle?
Yes, because if the Tea Party and the Republican Party is moving left, and I guess what is the status quo of the Democratic Party?
Yeah. Well, to me, the Democratic Party has been the status quo party, with the Republican Party being a party that really has not had any sense of purpose other than keeping a few angry people satisfied. So they really are shaking up the whole political scene by becoming more open to ideas. So, Hey, folks, promised you some conversation about taxes and accounting. Troy doesn't pay taxes, of course. He just believes in his own little kingdom, right?
Right.
Okay, no.
Sovereign nation.
But sovereign nation, Troy Churchville. We've got a Ying Sa on the phone with us. Ying Sa is with Community CPA and Associates, and I'm glad you could take some time to join us, Ying, because you have got to be up to your eyebrows in tax forms these days.
Not too bad.
Not too bad?
Computerized system.
Computerized system? Okay. Yeah, but still, this is your busiest time of the year.
Yep, we should be. Mhm.
Yeah, business taxes were just due, what, last week?
March 15.
Right, and
It's
you've
not
got
over.
personal...
And so many extensions like everybody else.
Right, yeah, and then you've got personal taxes due April 15th. So, I mean, it's... there's lots to think about. I've got one question on my mind, but let me kick it off to you first. Anything in particular you want our listeners to think about?
Well, I know a lot of people filed extension for company tax return this year, and I want everyone to take that as a good opportunity for you to look at your tax return 3 times instead of 1 time before you submit, and the due date extended to September 15. So you have from now till September 15, and to really be a good guardian angel to your own tax return and really study it and ask a lot of questions. If they're interested for second opinion, they know where to go.
Now, is there a liability to that? Do you get fined? Do you have to pay interest or anything like that?
Well, if you filed extension and you did not make a payment with your extension, if you due some tax dollars, yes, you'll be charged with interest, but no penalty.
Ah, okay.
So you still want to file extension with payment. So estimate what you owe and pay it at the time. So now we're already past March 15. I don't want to make folks feel bad about it. If you didn't, I guess you have more motivation to make sure your tax is filed right in September.
Okay. Well, people don't. I mean, if people want to feel bad, they can join me because I'm filing that extension as well.
Yeah.
Right. Per your advice.
A lot of people do that, and then not really because we're the tardiness and delaying, and delaying on IRS side is definitely causing that huge influx of extension this year. We have so many extensions.
Right. Okay. So let me ask you a question too, and there may be other folks who have this issue as well. I am putting together a nonprofit. It is a nonprofit called the Great March for Climate Action. We'll be walking across the country next year to call for action on the climate issue. It's a 501c3. 501c3 is tax exempt, but you still have to file, correct?
Yeah, you need to file what I call the informational return. And March 15, if your year end is December. So it is a 5 months and a half out when you close out the year. So just depends, right? What is your last year of operation? And for a nonprofit. And nonprofit can file a postcard, which is really easy. Go to irs.gov and fill in information, and there you go. And as long as you did not make more than $25,000 in revenue donations, and you are eligible for those postcard filing.
Okay, so that helps a bit. Yeah. Okay. Do you have many nonprofits that do? I know you have about 3,500 customers.
Yes, we have over 3,600. But since we're talking about nonprofit, let's just say, and what are the steps and to make a company become nonprofit? And a lot of times folks are thinking, well, I just go to Secretary of State, register as a nonprofit, and I'm done. Right. And you are not done. You are 25% done.
Right. You don't...
Right. You don't just register with the state and call yourself a nonprofit, and you need to apply.
Yeah, you file your incorporation status with the state Secretary of State, but you got to file your tax status, your 501c3. Yes, that's with the IRS.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So that is a big hurdle for a lot of people because it's 58 pages in total, and you look at the form and you get dizzy. But if you really just look line by line and knowing what you're doing, understand your mission and visions, and you should be able to come through that form. It's 1023, and that's what you're going to do. Then you can be a real nonprofit.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm planning on it. Yeah. But basically, I mean, if you are a nonprofit, you will never pay taxes as such, but you still have to file and go through some formalities.
Right. And nonprofit just means for the profit, for the leftover portion of your operation, there is no income tax. So that means there probably other tax, no income tax. So that's what it's called, nonprofit. Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you, what is the traffic like these days? I mean, things have gotten a little bit easier for folks like you dealing with tax preparation, dealing with accounting, because of the computerized nature of the industry. But the laws themselves are always changing. There's always new complexities. I mean, are you spending more time with each client because of those, or are you spending less because of the technical advantages?
Well, actually, I would say it is about the same. In fact, we should, as a tax professional, we should all spend more time in educating clients or planning with clients. And because the computerized system do help us to not make mathematical errors and to not pull out a wrong form that has nothing to do with the taxpayers. But the real thinking behind it, what form to use, which is the best place to put certain claims, and how take advantage of this newly out credit, and all of that is a brain work. It is not computer work. Computer just not going to be sophisticated enough to lead you to the right credit that you're supposedly to claim. So I say, from my own experience, I probably didn't really save any time, but I did enjoy my work a lot more because I can think a lot more rather than crunching numbers.
Right. That's nice. Job satisfaction, good thing.
Yeah.
So we just had a couple local musicians on our program here talking about the kind of the cultural renaissance that Des Moines is experiencing in recent years. And, I mean, musicians are usually paid either sometimes cash, but you're paid, paid per gig. Maybe you teach students as well. You're paid by your students. You've got an interesting and diverse stream of income. How do you? What do folks like that, people like musicians, need to be thinking about when they prepare their taxes?
Well, it's really, let's just put it this way. In every profession, and artists or entertainers, and there are special tax rules related to this particular industry. And some of the musicians, when they created their CDs, and there is a royalty come through with the selling of the CD. So just really depends on what stage you are. You may just receive a 1099 miscellaneous income from those people who hired you to play at their event, and then you are running just a regular business. So you have income, then your expenses would include all the instruments you bought and depreciate them, and travel expense, and anything related to that special event that would be deducted against the income you receive from that particular,
right.
particular event.
Yep, gotcha.
So really depends, and it can add complexity. And if this physician, didn't really have anything to put in and borrowed all the money, and getting income, and how would the borrowed money being accounted? So it again is all going back to accounting issues and how tax should be properly claimed. And I think if I am a musician, I'll concentrate on doing music and give the rest of the work to the professional.
Right, give that part to you. Yes, good idea. Yeah. Hey, I got one more question for you from my co-host today, Troy Church.
Hi, how are you doing?
Very good. How are you, Troy?
I'm good. That was not my question.
Well, it was a question.
I answered.
We'll give him a second question.
What if a musician is making sales off the internet? Does that qualify as taxable income?
That is a taxable income, and depends on where the sale goes. If you are really, really popular and with people from all over the states buying you, and then you probably should be registered sales tax permit to each state and collect sales tax and submit to the state for the different states.
Okay.
Yeah. Great. Well, good question, Troy. It was inevitable. Troy Church would eventually have to ask a good question, and happened today.
I have a can of worm for Troy.
maybe not. Well, Ying, thanks so much for joining us. If folks want to get in touch with you, I believe the number is 288-3188.
Yes, and our website, communitycpa.com.
Communitycpa.com. Ying, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And I want to thank Fighting Burrito for helping to sponsor this program. Fighting Burrito is at 13th and Locust. This is a business, the brainchild of Matthew Goodman. It's the home business is up in Ames on Welch Avenue, but they've got a new restaurant here in Des Moines. Fantastic place and really cheap burritos. I mean, really affordable price, and it's a custom-made burrito. Troy, you been there?
I have been there. It's excellent.
Yeah, I mean, you can make your own burrito from a whole range of options. It's really wonderful. So, folks, check them out. That's Fighting Burrito in the Nationwide building on 13th Street, just south of Locust, on your way down to Walnut Street. I want to thank Maddie Arrington, my producer. I want to thank Troy Church for co-hosting.
Thank you, Ed.
Troy, again, you've got to have something better to do with your time than come in and...
I'm on spring break.
Okay. All right, good. Well, don't squander it just doing talk shows, okay?
Okay. Well, I got one coming up Sunday night, actually.
All right, good. All right, and I want to thank Webcast One Live for providing the studio for this show. And folks, I want to remind you, go to my website. The most recent post I put up there at fallonforum.com is a 3-minute video graphic. It is no volume to it, no sound at all. It just shows you the pattern of carbon parts per million increasing in the atmosphere. It just shows you every year how it goes up. Again, it's seasonal. It goes up during the summer, down in the winter, but overall rising about 2 parts per million every year. Becoming a matter of grave concern to scientists who've been following this, and we see where this is going. This is a conversation we have to continue to talk about, because if we don't get this critter under wraps, it's going to be problematic in the future in a way that we can't even imagine today. Anyway, go to my website, check that out. While you're on my website, do consider going to the support button and doing your part to help make this program possible. Remember, talk radio isn't cheap. We have to compete with the big commercial broadcasters who have all sorts of big corporate allies behind them. We do it with the support of local businesses and individuals and musicians and organizations that believe in providing this kind of a conversation. So do your part, folks, and go to support on the Fallon Forum website. Thanks. I'll be back tomorrow.
I'm Brian Leach, owner and general manager of Service Legends. I brought along a couple of the home comfort heroes.
Hi, I'm Tammy Wells.
I am Nick Wondershad.
I am administrative manager.
I am the senior technician
from Service Legends.
It seems like every good thing, when you feel it to the bone that it's good, there's a lot of hard work put behind it. I don't think that you can fake it and have it turn out good.
You know, if we seem like, okay, that's just weird, it's just a furnace, why would you believe so deeply in a furnace? It's not just that, you know, we want to show the world that you can have good service.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotta be, it's your home.
You know, it's built into our daily trainings, it's built into our culture, that we're gonna do whatever it takes to have each client say they love us, period.
That's why we spend all the hours in the training that we do. And if we guarantee it's gonna be a good experience for you, or else it's free, what type of work do you think we're gonna do?
There is a guarantee.
Temperature selection guarantee, fixed right or it's free guarantee, comfort guarantee, best value guarantee. All of these guarantees hold us accountable to ensuring that we exceed your expectations. And if for whatever reason we'd fail and we can't make it right, we guarantee all of those guarantees with a 100% money back guarantee.
I mean, if you don't think that your technician can fix it right, are you gonna say that to a client? No.
You don't have to worry about having a technician come to your house.
We drug test, background check all of our team members. We put safe people in your home. Each and every one of our service techs, 400 hours a year in training.
You tell it the minute they walk in the door. They know what they're doing, they've done their homework, and they actually truly care about what you want.
Because at the end of the day, you're the person that makes sure I have a job.